If you're a man over 60, you've probably been told that the weariness you feel the mornings that start slow, the loss of drive, and even those private moments that feel distant are just part of getting older. But what if I told you that most of it might have nothing to do with age? What if the real reason behind your fading vitality isn't in your body, but in your grocery cart? Yes, your plate, or more precisely, what's missing from it could be silently draining your strength, your motivation, and your masculine confidence. And what's missing might just be something as simple, natural, and overlooked as fruit. That's right. Real, whole fruits. 3 of them, to be exact. Not pills, not injections, not endless visits to specialists, but 3 fruits you can find in almost any produce aisle. Fruits that science now shows can reignite your energy, restore your circulation, and bring back the power that once defined your best years. My name is Dr. Senior Man. I've spent over 30 years helping men just like you rebuild their strength, endurance, and passion without relying on pharmaceuticals or surgeries. And today I'm going to tell you something that might just change the way you think about aging forever. Because this isn't about gimmicks. It's not about chasing youth. It's about fuel, about giving your body the nourishment it still knows how to use to restore itself from the inside out. Most men believe that decline is inevitable, that the best years are behind them. But what if I told you there's a red fruit that gently nudges testosterone levels back up, a green fruit that cleanses and fuels your arteries, and a bright yellow fruit that energizes you all the way down to your cells? And this isn't theory. This is clinically supported nutritional therapy, validated by real results, real studies, and real stories from men who have turned their lives around using nothing but the right foods. So stay with me, because what you're about to discover may not only reshape how you feel about aging, it might change the way you age altogether. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to this channel and turn on that notification bell. This is where men over 60 come to learn real evidence-based strategies to stay strong, energized, and confident. And while you're at it, scroll down and type a 1 in the comments if you find this helpful, or a 0 if you don't. Either way, I'm here to serve you. Now let's talk about the first fruit, one that has been quietly studied behind the scenes for its powerful effects on circulation, prostate health, and male performance. And yet it's not some miracle pill from overseas. It's not a lab-made superfood. It's humble. It's delicious. And it's probably sitting right there in your local grocery store. Pomegranate's the circulation supercharger. The power of pomegranate. More than just a fruit. I'll never forget the look on George's face when I told him about pomegranates. He was 72 years old, sitting quietly in my office with that familiar, weighted silence so many men carry. "I'm not the man I used to be, Doc," he said. Intimacy. A distant memory. Energy gone. Confidence nowhere in sight. What struck me most, though, wasn't just what George said, it was what he didn't know. He believed his struggles were just a natural part of aging. But in reality, the real issue wasn't age. It was blood flow. And as it turns out, the produce section held a solution George had walked past 100 times. Pomegranate. Modern science now confirms what many ancient cultures instinctively knew. Pomegranates have long symbolized vitality, and for good reason. They're absolutely loaded with polyphenols, powerful plant compounds that act like high-octane fuel for your blood vessels. These polyphenols help improve circulation by increasing nitric oxide, the very molecule that helps your arteries relax and open up. Better circulation means better blood flow, especially to the areas where men over 60 need it most. And here's the part that gets my attention every time. In one clinical study, older men who drank pure pomegranate juice daily experienced noticeable improvements in erection strength and endurance within just 2 weeks. Let that sink in. 2 weeks. No pills, no side effects, just fruit. But the benefits don't stop at performance. Pomegranate juice also helps reduce oxidative stress, soothe inflammation, and support prostate health. 3 critical areas for maintaining masculine wellness over time. For men who are dealing with frequent nighttime bathroom trips or the slow pressure of an enlarging prostate, pomegranate offers gentle, natural relief. And if you're wondering how it tastes, It's refreshingly tart, deeply satisfying, and downright energizing, especially once you understand what it's doing for your body. A story of revival. How one glass changed everything. George followed my advice. Nothing complicated, just 6 ounces of pure, unsweetened pomegranate juice every morning. That was it. 2 weeks later, he walked back into my office. Same man, different posture. He stood taller, he smiled more. He even cracked a joke about how his wife had started looking at him differently. There was no magic involved, no drugs, just biology reawakened by real nutrition. Pomegranates don't scream for your attention. They don't come with flashy labels or miracle claims, but they work because they support the systems that already exist inside your body, your heart, your blood vessels, your hormones, and yes, your performance. So if your mornings feel sluggish, if intimacy feels like a memory, if your energy disappears by midday, don't reach for pills first. Reach for a pomegranate. This is fruit with a purpose designed by nature for recovery, resilience, and renewal. But that's just the beginning, because coming up next, I'll reveal the green fruit that helps naturally restore testosterone levels without clinics, injections, or expensive treatments. It's been quietly sitting in your grocery store your entire life, and yet most men have no idea what it can do for them. Up next, avocados, the hormone revivers. I remember Harold, clearly 68 years old, retired, healthy, doing all the right things, but still something felt off. He leaned in and whispered, "Doc, I just don't feel like a man anymore." His voice was calm, but the frustration was real. It wasn't just about energy, it was about drive, about feeling present in his life and his relationships. He wasn't weak, but he didn't feel strong anymore. He wasn't sick, but he didn't feel well. Like so many men, Harold assumed it was just normal aging. But what he didn't know, what most men don't, is that his real issue wasn't age. It was testosterone. So Harold began with something simple, half an avocado with his eggs in the morning or sliced over a salad. What happened next? Well, that's where the story begins to shift. Avocados. Fueling more than just hormones. Within just a week of adding avocado to his routine, Harold reported something he hadn't felt in years: energy. Not the jittery kind, not a sugar rush. This was different. He felt grounded, more alive, more connected to the present moment. His mind felt sharper, his sleep became deeper, more restful, and that spark he feared was extinguished forever. It flickered back to life, just a faint glow at first, but real. This transformation didn't come from a synthetic gel, a hormone patch, or an expensive clinic. It came from fuel, real natural fuel that the male body has always responded to. In a world full of quick fixes and artificial answers to masculine decline, it's easy to forget this truth: your body was never broken. It was simply undernourished. Avocados offer one of the purest forms of fuel your body understands. They're rich in healthy monounsaturated fats that do more than just support testosterone. They help your body absorb essential vitamins like A, D, E, and K. These fat-soluble nutrients are the very building blocks of hormone production, immune defense, and cell repair. Most men are unknowingly deficient in these vitamins, not because they don't eat well, but because they're not absorbing them properly. Without enough healthy fat, your body can't process the vitamins it needs. Avocados also bring in potassium, a mineral that supports heart function and helps keep blood pressure in check. And unlike some complicated dietary plans, this fruit is beautifully simple. No recipes, no rules. Just slice it, eat it, and let it work. 1/2 avocado a day, that's all it takes to start shifting your hormonal environment from resistance to support. Combine that with small daily upgrades like deep breathing, a 15-minute walk, and better sleep hygiene, and you build a body that supports you instead of dragging you down. Because this isn't just about testosterone, it's about reclaiming yourself. The strong man, the clear-thinking leader, the father, the grandfather, the man with purpose. That version of you is still there beneath the fatigue, waiting for the right conditions to reemerge. Avocados are often overlooked, but they are among the most powerful natural tools we have to begin that process of restoration. I've seen dozens of men experience profound shifts in confidence, in mood, in presence simply by making this one addition to their daily routine. Once your hormones begin to balance, everything begins to shift: your mindset, your intimacy, your sleep, your metabolism. But while testosterone is the engine, it still needs a spark. And the next fruit on our list is what lights that fire: the energy igniter and artery protector bananas. Let me tell you about Walter. He was 73 years old, a proud father of 3, a retired school principal, and a man who had always taken pride in staying active. But the day he walked into my office, his shoulders were slouched, his voice steady but tired. "Doc, I feel exhausted all the time," he said. "Not just in my body, but in my mind and spirit too. I wake up tired. I go through the day tired. I don't know what's happening." It wasn't sadness. It was fatigue, the kind that quietly steals your spark and makes everything feel heavier than it should. So I asked him a simple question. "When was the last time you finished breakfast and actually felt energized?" He looked at me puzzled. "I usually skip breakfast." He shrugged. There it was. After 60, your body doesn't just wake up on its own. It needs support fuel that speaks to your brain, your heart, and your arteries. And that's exactly what the humble banana provides. You might think of bananas as ordinary, but to me they're foundational. They're packed with potassium, magnesium, and vitamin B6 nutrients that aren't just for preventing cramps. Behind the scenes, they help relax blood vessels, support cardiovascular health, and fuel the energy production that happens deep inside your cells. When Walter started his day with a banana, a glass of water, and a small spoon of nut butter, he felt the difference fast. "I just felt more steady," he told me later. "No crashing mid-morning. I could think clearly. I had more in the tank." Bananas also contain tryptophan, an amino acid that helps raise serotonin levels, reducing stress and promoting better sleep. They help stabilize blood sugar, power your heart, and support your brain. And consistent energy. That's what makes everything easier. Walking becomes smoother. Conversations flow, you feel more present, and yes, performance improves too. Because weak circulation, especially in men over 60, is often the hidden culprit behind poor performance. The potassium in bananas naturally supports healthy blood pressure and opens the pathways that allow blood to move freely, especially to the areas that matter most. The best part: bananas are effortless. No prep, no plan, just peel and eat. They're portable, digest easily, and travel well. If a man wants consistent energy, I always say, start with consistent habits. And 1 banana a day. That's one of the simplest and most powerful you can adopt. 2 weeks after Walter made that one small change, his wife called to thank me, not because of the banana, but because it brought her husband back. The one who laughed more, stayed awake longer, and felt present in a way she hadn't seen in years. Why this works: energy comes. First, energy is the foundation. Nothing else in your body, hormones, recovery, focus, or intimacy, can operate at full capacity without it. When you restore that inner current, when your cells start firing again, your body begins to repair itself layer by layer. And here's the real power. What happens when you combine the 3: pomegranate to fuel blood flow, avocado to restore testosterone, banana to ignite energy? This trio, simple, natural, and available at any grocery store, creates a biological synergy that no supplement can match. Up next, why these 3 fruits work better together. You're about to learn how combining these foods transforms the male body, not just in theory, but in practice. I've seen it firsthand. Men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond who once felt worn down, resigned to the slow fade of aging, suddenly energized, clear-minded, and confident again. Because when you stop treating your body like it's broken and start feeding it like it's rebuilding, that's when the magic starts. By now, you've seen how just 1 fruit, a pomegranate, an avocado, or a banana, can begin to change the way a man feels in his own body. But something even more powerful happens when they're used together. Why these 3 fruits work better together than alone. Here's what most men don't realize: change doesn't always start with a massive transformation. It often begins with something small. 1 habit, 1 adjustment, One breakfast done right. I've seen it countless times. Men in their 60s or 70s walk into my office looking disoriented, frustrated, like they've lost something they can't name. They speak quietly. Their energy is flat. They feel like they've crossed an invisible line they can't go back over. And yet, just one small change can turn it all around. They start with a banana in the morning, or half an avocado, maybe a few ounces of pomegranate juice. Then something shifts. That faint flame, the one they believed had burned out long ago, starts to flicker again. And it's not just about the individual fruit, it's about the combination, the consistency, the intention behind it. When you bring these three fruits together into your daily routine, they form what I call a triangle of strength supporting the three systems that define male vitality: circulation, hormonal balance, and clean, stable energy. Each fruit fills in the missing pieces of a puzzle your body has been trying to solve for years. Pomegranates improve blood flow, nourish the prostate, and reopen the arteries that stiffen with age. Avocados deliver the healthy fats and minerals your body needs to naturally produce testosterone without stress, without artificial interference. Bananas fuel the heart and brain, stabilize your energy, and elevate your focus in a way no supplement ever could. Together, they don't just support your body, they awaken it. One of my longtime patients, Richard, put it best. He's 69 and had been struggling with low energy and mood swings for years. After integrating these three fruits into his morning routine, he told me something I'll never forget. I didn't just feel better, I felt like I returned, like my body remembered what it was supposed to do. And that's the truth, isn't it? These fruits aren't adding anything foreign. They're not forcing your body to perform or masking symptoms. They're simply reopening a door. A door that's been there all along, quietly closed by processed food, stressful habits, and years of ignoring what your body has been gently asking for. You don't need complicated powders. You don't need miracle cures that cost hundreds of dollars. What you need are the building blocks that nature already created: whole foods with specific nutrients delivered in a form your body instantly recognizes. After 60, your body needs those nutrients more than ever. And when you give them to it consistently, something remarkable happens. Digestion improves. Testosterone levels stabilize. Circulation strengthens. Sleep deepens. Confidence returns. Not the loud, showy kind of confidence, but the quiet kind. The kind that lives in your bones. The kind that helps you look in the mirror and see yourself again. Not a man trying to be young, but a man living with power, clarity, and intention. This isn't about going back in time. It's about becoming the strongest version of yourself right now. Because age doesn't destroy strength, disconnection does. When your energy hormones and blood flow are aligned, your body knows exactly what to do. You wake up with purpose again. You speak with more confidence. You're more engaged with your work, your partner, your goals. You show up more fully in your own life. And it all starts with real food. I've walked this path with hundreds of men. No pressure, no hype, just evidence-based body-first healing. And every time what amazes me most is not how long the transformation takes, but how quickly the body responds once it receives what it's been asking for all along. The most powerful truth of all: it's never too late. You see, this might be the most powerful part of it all. You're never too far gone. Whether you're 60, 70, or 85, it doesn't matter. The moment you start nourishing your body properly, the reversal begins. Layer by layer, your system starts healing, and the change starts with something as simple as accessible and as powerful as a piece of fruit. If you've made it this far, you're not just interested, you're committed. You're looking for something deeper, something real. So, in the next and final part of this video, I'm going to give you a clear, simple strategy, a way to take everything we've discussed and apply it starting tomorrow morning. No guesswork, no confusion, just a plan you can stick with. Let's recap the path back to vitality. If I've learned anything in my 30-plus years as a men's health physician, it's this: men are not broken by age. They're broken by giving up. Too many good men have bought into the lie that your best years end after a certain number, that fatigue, slower mornings, fading intimacy, that it's all just how it is. But time and time again, I've seen what happens when we give the body the right support. It responds. It rebuilds. That's why we began with pomegranates, because without blood flow, nothing else matters. No matter how much desire you feel, if your arteries are tight and your vessels are weak, performance suffers. But with daily pomegranate, blood begins to move again. And men tell me they feel a surge of energy and vitality they hadn't felt in years. Then came the avocado, a quiet powerhouse that stabilizes testosterone, reduces stress, and restores your grounded masculine strength. It doesn't make promises, it delivers results silently behind the scenes. But when your hormones begin to align, so does everything else. And then the banana sweet familiar, often underestimated. Yet it fuels your brain muscles and heart with the energy you need to stay active, present, and mentally sharp throughout your day. Each of these fruits on their own is powerful. But when combined, they form a foundation every man over 60 should have in his life. Because you don't need to chase youth. You need to reclaim your vitality. And that begins with how you treat yourself. Not just how you eat, but how you believe. You must believe that you can still become stronger. That you can still create connection. That you can still change. I've seen hundreds of men, some in their 60s, others well into their 80s, walk this path. I've watched them transform through small, consistent daily efforts. And what changes isn't just their blood flow or hormones, it's their spirit. Their posture lifts. Their voice steadies. Their wives take notice. Their eyes light up again. This is not a miracle. It's not hype. It's biology finally given the support it needs. If this message spoke to you, don't wait. Don't come back to it later. Start now. Choose the foods that give you strength. Create routines that support your energy. Live your life like a man who knows his story isn't over. Because this is not the end. This is the start of a new chapter. And how that chapter reads, that's up to you. If this video resonated with you, and you believe in helping men get real life-changing health guidance without gimmicks or ads, consider making a small donation using the link below. Every contribution helps keep this content free, independent, and focused entirely on serving you. Thank you for being part of this movement. Let's rebuild together.